Hi everyone, today I am here with Dennis and he is an expert in many different things. But today we will talk about how we can create a million new jobs in Pakistan in digital marketing space. So if you can stay connected, we'll be right back. So hi everyone, today we're back with Dennis. And Dennis, how have you been? How
Good.
I saw your new studio is fantastic.
Yeah, you can, well, check this out. You can see that we've got these TV cameras, multiple of them, and I can do different sorts of features and effects. I have this Rodecaster Pro and the A10 Mini. I have what is this, a GoPro? So I can draw. I have these microphones above me and all this. So it's not a fake background. This is a real, see, look, it's a real background. This is our video studio here in Las Vegas. Good to see you, my friend.
It's gorgeous. It's lovely. So we have been trying to catch up for a while to do this conversation, and today something triggered, and here we are. Tell me what you see happening, and what do you mean by a million jobs in digital marketing from Pakistan?
I've been hiring a lot of people in the United States, and we have a lot of US clients. And I'll just tell you, for example, 2 days ago, I was in Texas with one of my friends who started a $2 billion mortgage company, and he has 400 employees. And they want to be able to grow their company through digital marketing, but there's such a shortage of skilled labor, of people who can implement this. My friend Tom Ferry, he has 400,000 real estate agents that follow him. And all these real estate agents, they would like to be able to grow their digital marketing. They want to rank in Google. They want better websites. They want social media. They need video editing help. They need lots of things in digital marketing that you and I know how to do, but there just aren't enough people. We did a webinar with Fiverr. You know, Fiverr is very big about doing gigs and things like that. And I have a lot of friends in Pakistan that we hire through Fiverr or we hire directly. But I thought, in talking with one of my friends, Mark Schaefer, yesterday, he said, you know, you really should publicize your dream of creating a million jobs, because what people see is they see a lot of training, right? They see us putting together these books, right? And you and I, we spent together, like, for example, we're in San Francisco, and you've seen the training that we produce and things like that. But I thought, if someone in Pakistan can do the same thing, they can edit the video, they can do the blog post, they can build the website, they can do all that. Why shouldn't they make as much as someone in the United States? What does the average person who does digital marketing, let's say in Pakistan, make per month?
$500 a month.
So what if we made that $2,000 a month? What kind of change would that be?
It's happening already, and yes, it will definitely make a lot of change for them.
Because $2,000 a month is $24,000 a year, which is $12 an hour. $12 an hour is not even going to be minimum wage in the United States. People in the United States will not work for $12 an hour. So if we can equip hundreds of thousands of people in Pakistan, just like we're starting to do in the Philippines and in India and other places, what an amazing opportunity. And I think even with all the bad things that have happened with COVID, it has created an enormous opportunity, because everyone now needs to get into digital marketing. And I would like nothing more than my life's mission to be able to work with you and train up as many people as possible, so that when they're qualified and able to do this, then they can all get hired by all these businesses that we're connected with.
Awesome. So what's the bottleneck you see? Are you not able to get enough people to do your courses? You don't have enough courses to train them? What's the challenge here?
Let me trace the bottleneck. And this is an interesting challenge. It's a two-sided network. You know, just like an Uber, you have supply and demand. So the thing that we do not have an issue with is business demand. So there's hundreds of thousands of businesses that we're connected with in the United States, because we speak at associations. 4 days ago, I was in San Antonio speaking at the National Auctioneer Association, and there's thousands of auctioneers, people who auction things at auctions or celebrity auctions, charity auctions, and their websites are from 10 years ago where they're terrible. They all need help. So we have tons of demand because the different associations ask us to train, right? GoDaddy asks us to train. Infusionsoft, Facebook, all these guys, they come ask us to train. So each of these organizations has thousands of businesses that all need help. So in order for us to serve the businesses, we need competent people to be able to do that. So the bottleneck is that we don't have enough competent people to be able to assign to that work. So we have our own agency. We have our own team of virtual assistants. We have other people that we farm the work to, but there's just not enough qualified people. And the bottleneck of there is that we don't have enough, our training, like the training on how to do this really isn't that good. There's a lot of things on YouTube, a lot of people that are doing one-on-one training, but in terms of like a real system, like a certification, like a pilot, right? Or you want to be a doctor, there's a certification, you go to medical school, but there isn't that kind of thing in digital marketing. But only in the last 6 months or 12 months, because of our friends at Social Media Marketer, our friends at Instagram, our friends at GoDaddy, all these other folks said, you know what, let's just go ahead and contribute our best knowledge. So we've gotten all these folks in the last few months to contribute their knowledge, and we put it inside a learning management system. And we want to make that available so the people who go through that and go through the courses, do the exercises, pass the quiz, all that kind of stuff, then we want to give them jobs. So the bottleneck has been not having the training that then we can bring all of the workers, all of the people that are unemployed. Like you saw, we were just messaging together on Twitter and on Facebook. All these people would like to get a job, and we want to give them training so they can get certified. Because if they can prove, it used to be you had a college degree. You have a college degree, you could trade that in for a job, right? But now that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So we want to have a certification. We put it out there. And then because we have all of the workers on the people that, or I'm sorry, we have the workers that are getting certified, but we have the businesses that also believe in that certification. The businesses want to hire anyone with that certification, which makes the certification valuable. So it gives workers or any student, anyone like a house mom or anybody, maybe they don't know anything about digital marketing, but if they can go through that training and they can be a designer, they can be a video editor, they can build websites, they can do whatever it is, then we will connect them with the business on the other end. And now they can start making money and have a good income and be work from home instead of whatever opportunity there is. They can serve US clients that are paying US level wages.
So I have a question from Anusha, and she's asking, is there a guaranteed job afterward your training?
So if you think about it, what we have is a huge network, Anusha, of people who want to hire the businesses. So these are real estate agents, these are dentists, chiropractors, attorneys. They all want to hire. We can't guarantee that they will hire you, but we can guarantee that you will have multiple businesses that will look at you. So it's really in the quality of what you have, right? So this is not Fiverr. This is not Upwork. This is not one of those where people are randomly trying to meet each other. Like you see a lot of these job work sites are kind of like dating websites. What we can say is that if you've gone through this training, we guarantee you to put you in front of these other businesses. Now, whether you do a good job, whether you are able to create a convincing video saying, hi, I'm Anusha, and I do digital plumbing. I set up, Google Tag Manager, UTM parameters, Google Analytics, or, whatever it is that you do to be able to make a video, to be able to convince that potential client that you are good. That's really the key. And I also want to make sure we train everybody on how to present themselves, because people in the United States, they're thinking, well, I don't know if I want to hire someone in Pakistan because maybe, it's a different country, it's a different time zone. Maybe English is not their first language. But if we can teach you how to work with American clients and give you the skills and have that certification, then I think it's a very high likelihood. I think there's a huge, huge labor arbitrage opportunity. And I know a lot of Americans, they're paying $30 an hour, $50 an hour for people who I know in the United States that I know our friends in Pakistan can do it a lot better. And instead of making, $500 a month, they can make $2,000, $3,000 a month.
Right. And so if somebody wants to get training, I have another great question from Anusha. What does it cost to get training with you?
So we've been testing this, and we've tried in the United States at $100 a month. But I know in Pakistan that's a little bit different. We've tried some that are free. Some people where they're just, and we feel really bad because they're down on their luck, they're in a difficult situation. We've let them come into this training for free. We find that those people tend to not, for whatever reason, not be able to do as well in the training. Maybe they don't take it seriously. Maybe they're dealing with a divorce or a difficult situation. I don't know what the price is. So I would say for Pakistan, Rehan, you tell me what should the price be, and let's make that the price, right? And you and I can share in, whatever the price is, you and I can share and use all the money strictly for building the program, not because we are trying to make a big profit.
Fantastic.
I want to
So,
partner with you. You tell me.
so this is what has happened in Pakistan since we met. I'm going to give you a little bit overview of a little bit of change that has happened. And so last year, when COVID hit, I was talking to a gentleman who said, "You know what? I just need a job. I will be happy to work for $100." And I said, "Well, can you do posting on Facebook? Can you check? Do you have a computer? Can you do basic social media stuff?" And he said, "Yes, I can do it." So I thought, why don't I create a platform where people can just hire interns, because they would not be fantastic, but they can learn on the way. And so I created $100intern.com, and the idea was to give these jobs from the United States to the people in Pakistan instantaneously. Now, Pakistan does not have PayPal, and people take it as an obstacle. They don't take Bitcoins, they don't take a Payoneer. They just see, oh, there's no PayPal, I can't do anything. Well, you can do a million other things.
Right.
But so I created this platform that I will charge in my US company, and then I will simply transfer the money and pay them locally in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 11,000 people now in my network who applied for a job on this website. Now these people show up and they say they can do everything, but they really don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
So what I started was, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to scrap whatever degree you have, whatever training you have. I'm going to create bite-sized half an hour training content, which you have to take, and they would all be modular. So you can take 3 courses, 5 courses, 10 courses, and after these 5 different courses, half an hour each, all for free. Now you're qualified to apply for a job on my platform. Otherwise, I would not allow you to be displayed in even that you can do this job, because I don't know for sure if you can do this or not. So again, my goal was 1 million people. I'm trying to figure out how to scale this and
Mm-hmm.
figure out all the bottlenecks and get rid of them. So we have now 125 courses on our platform, which is
Wow.
rehantraining.com, and it's all for free. But again, as you said, people don't take anything for free seriously. So here's another friend of mine, who we go back a couple, 12 years or so. He comes to Pakistan and he wants to sell Amazon accounts to people for, $500 a month, because Amazon wasn't working here also. So he gets into the similar problem that people don't really know how to do this. So he started creating training content. I forced him into making videos. And then now he has also another 150 courses available for people to start learning. And it's called the VBC,
Mm-hmm.
something video, blah, blah, something. And now he has 850,000 people on
Wow.
his Facebook group learning from VBC. Here's another friend of mine who pops in from the United Kingdom and says, I want to teach people how to do Amazon. And I need virtual assistants, I need video editors, I need social media marketers, I need people who understand how to source. So they both started creating these content,
Mm-hmm.
bite-sized content specified for a specific idea, specific training. And then they have personally qualified these people, and then they hire them themselves. Now imagine training 800,000 people and out of them just hiring 80 people. What kind of material would you be getting? What kind of quality would you be getting from them? So then what they did was, if you earn less than $400 a month, the whole learning platform for you is free. There is no charge. You can come in, you can apply for a scholarship, and you can now learn for free. And then once you learn, we will train you, we will help you get a job or start your own Amazon business and flip it. The first guy then started 12 incubation centers all around the country, physical centers where people can come in, pay $100 a month, and hang out with the best of the best. So now you have a mentor mentee situation, 300 people sitting in a room doing the exact same thing, learning like crazy from each other. Huge peer learning happening.
Mm.
That's been going on for 9 months now, and it's doing phenomenal. The growth has been insane, and these guys went 200,000 people in January this year to 800,000 people this at this moment.
Wow.
And I think by the next year they will have 4 million people in their Facebook group alone, just who are just engaging in these kind of conversations, and amazing work happening right now. So my 10,000 now looks like, like a pocket change at the
Hmm.
moment, with 800,000 people learning from these platforms. And this guy did not just talk about jobs. He talked about sexuality. He talked about girlfriend, wives, why you should migrate. He actually gave comments. He became like a Tony Robbins right now in Pakistan. And I mean, people are getting attracted to this guy not necessarily because of the skills he's giving in the job skills, but actually mentoring these kids to be, phenomenal. He has 3 wives. He's been teaching interesting stuff to these guys, of life journey. So all these kids are extremely excited and everything. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to connect you with these guys. There's one guy called Sunny and the other guy is called Sakib. I'll connect you to both, and then you go out and put out your own content, like your own courses, on their platform. You can also put out your content on my platform,
Hmm.
and we can publicize this left and right. But again, they have a better reach. They're very focused. People are learning. People are coming to them for this purpose, literally.
Hmm.
So the funnel would just be bigger. My
Hmm.
funnel is very general. I have all kinds of people right now on my network, but their network is very specific for youth who are actually interested in in actually getting these job done. And they have trained, I don't know, maybe 100,000 VAs already who are
Yeah.
ready to work on Amazon. And the scale is just phenomenal because you can just throw out a course and get them on the ladder of starting from $100 a month to 200, 300, 400, 500. I wanted to do the exact same thing, but they're just really good at it.
Mm.
So I don't want to be a person say, I'm the best. No, I think they are doing a wonderful job. And if we partner, I believe always in collaborating. If we partner, I mean, you and them partner, there would be really good results. And you will have 4 or 5 partners working on your goal of reaching 1 million people. So it's not
Yeah.
just Recon, it can be Sunny, it can be Saqib. There's another gentleman called Hisham Server. He also has a whole freelancer platform running. He has 150,000 just freelancers. Then there's another guy who has 1 million YouTube followers who just teaches graphic designing.
Mm.
So I will introduce you to him also. His name is Imran Alidina. And these are like 5 or 6 phenomenal minds who are really, really flipping the game. Their biggest challenge is opposite to what you have. They don't
Hmm.
have the clients. They're not Americans. They don't understand the US market. They don't. So, you have to you're the leverage.
Yeah.
So I would think that if you did an hour-long talk with them, I see you sitting in Pakistan in the next 2 months, because you're sitting on a gold mine, because you have clients and we have the people. We have 250 million human beings. In the last 1 year, we have sold 50 million new phones. So we went from 50 million phones to 100 million phones in 1 year.
Wow.
COVID was a blessing in Pakistan. It was phenomenal. All the work I've been doing for 22 years on one side, and COVID 1 year on one side. COVID just upgraded the whole nation. The whole planet literally is being upgraded as we speak, just because nobody was going to use Zoom. Then boom, all of a sudden everybody's on Zoom. Where's the Zoom link?
Yeah.
So I think it's a fantastic opportunity. Having said that, I also have built a team and everything, and I would be very happy to do parallel tell me what you need. And um, my interest in training is massive. I want to reach out to 200 million people, to billion people. You're reaching out to a million people. So I will be slow and steady, but long term. And these guys are in short term game. They would have their goals achieved maybe in 3 years, 5 years time. My goal is kind of a bigger goal, so it will take
Mhm.
much more time to hit the curve before if I ever hit the hockey stick. So yeah, that's where the change is. Broadband is available everywhere. It's fairly cheap. Laptops are $100 to start
Mhm.
off with. Smartphones, really smartphones are $50. Internet connections on the smartphone is $4 unlimited. So it's not a big deal. It's not a big challenge. All the challenges which you will foresee, I'm with you. I'm beside you. You tell me, Rihan, I'm hitting this spot. Who should I go to?
Yeah.
Who should I talk to? I'm the gatekeeper. I'll be very happy to open the gates. But
I'll see you.
I only have the keys. You have to go and
Rihan, I want to come see you in Pakistan in a month. I want to book
sure.
my plane ticket to see you, meet these other people. I want to do a lot of that training. I want to bring in other friends in the United States who are prominent and interview them and have them connect, because what I want to be able to show, because people in the United States have this idea that people in Pakistan maybe are not as competent or their English isn't very good. And I want to show that the myth is just a myth and show the exact opposite. So I can bridge that. So the courses that you have, the 100 courses, 125 courses, I'm happy to endorse those or augment them. And then maybe to bridge that, it sounds like what you're saying is if we can teach our Pakistan friends how to talk to American clients, how to be able to understand what it is they're looking for, bridge, take the course, bridge all the way to being able to talk to these American clients, then that's how we create jobs. Because I know the employers and the businesses in America.
So definitely you're welcome to come, but these nobody's living in the physical world at the moment. So Sunny lives in Malaysia. He's here in Pakistan for a week. Guess what? Today was one of the first freelancers conference in our country by the government of Pakistan. So it's happening. I'll connect you to these guys. All you do is you give me 2 hours a week online, and I'll make you a Pakistani. You look like you'll just have like following like crazy. That's my
Okay.
job. That's what I
Okay.
basically do. I build them following. I build followings so that you guys can do your magic. I'm not a magician. I'm just a connector. So I think if you have certain courses already, show them to me. Offer scholarships on them. That
Yeah.
okay, it's $100 for the training, but if you apply for scholarships, and you put an AI in there or an assistant on there who can see, okay, this person looks good, his English looks decent, let's give him a free training.
Yeah.
Um, it's a huge market, and I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be able to cash on it. I'll connect you to the 5-10 phenomenal leaders in the space. You do a live with them, understand their philosophy, help them grow in your market. Just like I was asking earlier, I want to know more people in your space. Doesn't mean I'm going to do work with them,
Hmm.
but they will help me stay in the right direction. They
Hmm.
will help me poke me, just I remember when we were driving in San Francisco, you said, Rihan, I said, what advice do you want to give me? You said, take your videos, put them into chunks and rebroadcast them. And we haven't still done a good job at it. I have 4 people doing that. I am still not doing a good job at it, but the direction was given in a minute's time. So this kind of
Yeah.
having, I like to be in an uncomfortable network so that people can keep poking me and guiding me based on their experience. I don't want to make the mistakes you have done and the people in the valley have done. So I want to act as a bridge. I don't want Pakistanis to make the same mistake. Now, communication is a big problem. They can't even communicate to Pakistanis. Forget about the US.
Mm.
And mental barriers are the second step they have, second, mental blockade they have. So I have been working on fixing that and removing that mental block. And majority of the people, I started teaching skills 10 years ago, and 20 years ago. I was teaching affiliate marketing 22 years ago. when there was no, there was link share, there was commission junction, very, very few people were around. But people have this mental barrier. They don't even want to do it because they don't think it's legit. So I changed myself 7 8 years ago, and I now work on the mental barrierness rather than the technical barrierness. So there are no technical barriers. There's only mental barriers,
True.
and the that's what I work on. And I can't do it alone because there's so many of these barriers, and there's so many amazing skill sets available on the internet. I don't need to teach them again. But the mental barrier part, nobody's teaching them in Urdu, and
Mm,
there are not enough global citizens living in Pakistan who can teach them the globalness of the nature of the planet we're living in. We're living in a very global planet, but we have restricted ourselves within, oh, you live here, oh, you live there, oh, where do you live? If somebody asks me where do you live, what time zone, I said Rehan Standard Time. You tell me,
RST.
right? So and I grew up working from home. I've been working from home for 32 years. And there are not lots of people in Pakistan who are working from home. Only after COVID have they started doing this. My company has been working from home for the last, every employee was forced to work from home one week, one day a week, for the last 10 years. And now
Mm,
when the COVID hit, we had no problems. But a lot of people had a lot of problems, but they were still not listening. So they hit into barriers.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so my strategy for you would be, let me introduce you to these guys. You do a live with them. You tell them your dream that you want to help 1 million people. That enough will tick them. I'll introduce you to the head of the government department whose
Mm,
job is to provide freelancing. His name is Usman, Osmannasir. I will introduce you to them. I'll introduce you to the minister. I'll introduce you to whoever you want, whatever you want. In a year to 2 years' time, we'll get this million up and running, but then it'll hit the hockey curve because that million will become double and double and double very quickly. It's the first, um, you know, 1,000 people you will have problem with, but then once you legitimize yourself, people will just flock in. That's what people do. So that's my thought on this.
I think that's incredible. You tell me, Rihan, what do I need to do? And I am your willing student. You tell me 2 hours a week. You tell me when that is. I'll do that. The other people, I appreciate you connecting me with. I want to make sure I do the very best I can to serve, to make connections. I'm a connector like you in many sorts of ways. And with 250 million people in Pakistan, a million is actually very small. That's only 0.5%. But that's such a nice number to be able to start with. I think
Right.
so much that we can do. And we're not trying to make people millionaires. We're just trying to give people good jobs at $1,000, $2,000 a month, just starting there. And then they can move up as they unlock more skills, more courses. What I'd love to see, all you guys that are watching now, what I'd love to see is not just, the first step is you get a job and you're starting to make some money and you take care of your family. But then what are you going to do? You're going to mentor other people that join who were in your situation a year ago, and you're going to help them. So that's the condition of being in the program is we'll train you, but then you have to train other people and then keep paying it forward. And I think that's going to be key to scaling and building the systems where we bring in the people who believe in this to help other people in their neighborhood.
So one thing I do have is a lot of social capital in these, with all these people, so they don't refuse almost anything I ask them to do. So, as I said, the first thing you want to do is, maybe I can get you a speaking slot today at the event, which I wasn't even invited to, but I think I can still, get you in as a speaker, or at least keep an eye on it. I'll send you the link. You watch the
Okay.
videos. A lot of it is in English,
Okay.
and that's a, freelancers conference, basically. That's something which you should be attending 6 months from now, whenever it happens again. I'll hook you up with the guy who organized it. I'll hook you up with all the key players in the game, and then just build your rapport with them, and offer them that you have this network and you're willing to hire these people. maybe a new website will be born for this purpose. Maybe I don't know how it'll work, but it will start unfolding when we start doing something.
Mm.
And I don't see it as an obstacle. As I said, the only obstacle we have is in our own mind and
Yeah.
nowhere else. There's no technical problem whatsoever in doing what we have just discussed to get 1 million people up and running on on all this.
Why don't we leverage what you already have? The $100 intern or other organizations. I'm happy to do new ones. But I like to build off of what's already good, right? I don't want to rebuild your
Yeah.
infrastructure or other folks who built these courses. I'm not here to try to build my name. I want to contribute. What's the best way you think I can contribute? I want to do that.
Right. Hey Ben. So this is my good friend from Australia. All right. So yeah, so $100 intern, the challenge is training. We have the content. We don't have the demand right now. I don't have the employers. So what I initially started was I'll offer these 30 skills, or you go into the platform, you choose the skill you want, and when we filter the people you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I have redone the model. Now I'm on a McDonald's model. We have a 5 item menu,
Mm-hmm.
and you can only choose these 5 people because
Yeah.
I want to create decent people or no people. Because then it becomes a fuss for the employer, because it's not just the employee. As you were saying, as you know, people don't want to hire from Pakistan because whatever reason in their head, it's
Mm.
just it's a two-pronged approach. So I have a course for employers. So as an employer who wants to hire from $100 intern, you must do a course from us for half an hour to understand the philosophy and the people and the standard of living and small integrated stuff, which will allow you to get your employee to do work for you. The work ethics are very different than what you expect from a person who you're paying $12 a month, an hour.
Yeah.
These people are getting $1 an hour or less. Their work ethics is not the same.
Yeah.
So a person who is coming in from the United States is expecting maybe a $6 work ethic from a dollar an hour guy, and it's still not there. So I decided to cut down the supply side and focus on looking for the right people. So if you tell me, Dennis, that I want 20 people who can do these skills, and you cut down the skill as much as possible, you can say this is the exact image. I want somebody to be able to design something like this on a cup, and I
Mm-hmm.
want 20 of those guys. What
Mm-hmm.
I'll do, I have a training team which can pop out a course every day or 2 courses every day, and we will create courses around. We will have one guy learn how to do this, and then he will create a course, and
Yeah.
then we will throw that course out to the guys and say, here you go, and you learn this, and if you do this, we will hire you. So we go out and train 100 people for looking for 20 people, and out of those 100, we take the 20 best and offer them to you, and you have spare 80 people in the pipeline
Yeah.
who you can hire anytime you want. So if you can pinpoint those people for me, I'll be very happy to create those people and supply them to you, very very dedicatedly. It shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. That's fantastic. That's a great idea. And then we can work together on what those very micro tasks are. I think most of them are going to revolve around content processing and repurposing. So we have a lot of real estate agent entrepreneurs, people where they know they need to create video. We teach a lot of things about 1 minute videos, but then that 1 minute video needs to be edited in a certain way, or a 10-minute video needs to be cut into a bunch of little 1 minute videos. And then when that's cut, it needs to be edited a certain way, like put a title on it, transcription on the bottom, and then push that to Facebook, push it to Twitter, push it to these other channels. And then as people engage, click like on other people. It's very easy. Clicking like is a simple thing. I think people can do it at a very junior level. And I think merely being able to do that, take basic video content, repurpose it, distribute it to other channels, click like as people are engaging will make a huge difference for
So what?
the 10 million entrepreneurs here in the United States.
So this sounds like you can train somebody who knows what he's doing in an hour to 2 hours time maximum, right?
Maybe a little longer than that. But in terms
Okay.
of the core skill, maybe 3 to 6 hours. I think a lot of it, kind of hinting at what you're saying, is going to be the work ethic and being able to show up on time. Because even if someone's working for $1 an hour, I can tell you these US clients, if they find that someone's not reliable, like even if they're free, they're not going to want that. So they have to be reliable. There has to be a system to be able to track, to make sure communication is solid, kind of like Uber or Grab with the cars, to make sure there has to be this kind of system that allows that to happen.
All right, so I understand that. This is one of my assistants. He's a fantastic guy. His name is Shahrukh, like the Shah Rukh Khan movie actor. And I will give you four people of mine
Okay.
who are my graphic designers, and you will train them according to your requirement. Then, out of those four people, Shahrukh and there's another gentleman called Ali who is the head of training.
Mm-hmm.
They will create some courses out of that, and we will do the courses in English
Mm-hmm.
and in Urdu language. English is just for you so that you
Okay.
can see exactly what is being taught to these kids.
Yeah.
If there is an error in the training, we go back and we edit the course and we reprocess it and reprocess it according to what Dennis requires. Now, a training is a training, it's a video. They can watch it 5 times, 10 times, whatnot, right? Um, so these are the kind of things we will start doing. You give me one employee who you're willing to hire for $200 to $400 a month
Mm-hmm.
configuration.
Mm-hmm.
First, you show it to me that I would judge that can this person even be trained?
Okay.
Because the work ethics, or if you want to start with a high ticket item, you want to start with a $500 item a person, it's even easier because they will show up on time because they
Okay.
are trained from a different kind of schooling
Yeah.
who do show up on time.
Yeah.
One of my biggest challenge has been to force these people to do show up on time. Some
Yeah.
people just don't show up on time. No matter what you do,
Big.
even in the US, they don't show up on time. They're just not
Yeah.
designed for. They're like Picasso's. So the creative guys don't show up, but you don't want creative guys. You want like the Amazon Turks. You want just the
Yeah.
machine. You want the factory workers. You want
Exactly.
the guys like Henry Ford model. Same here. I don't want the brainers here. I'm giving these tasks to people who don't want to think. They just want to do the work. I'm not one of those people. I
Right.
don't show up on time. But I know that if I want to get the factory running, we need people to show up on time. Shahrukh has been showing up on time every single day for the last 6 months and going late every day. He has a 12-hour shift. He has proved
Wow.
himself to be a phenomenal asset towards our company.
Mm.
So, what I'll just brief Shahrukh. So, Shahrukh, Dennis will come up today or tomorrow with a, task list, and what you want to do is send him the 5 items which we decided for the $100 intern, and then he can look at them and then he can tell me, I want somebody to do this. I think he's looking for somebody like Abdullah has been doing my work and repurposing the video. Basically, take a video, cut them, thumbnail them properly, title them properly, and posting them. We already know how to do this. So in the training, once he gives, we will have Abdullah, Shahryar, the gentleman who works with Abdullah in Lahore, and Ahmad Videowala and Arif to train under Dennis for 30 minutes a day for a few days. And then he will give them tasks and they will go back and do the task and come back. Ali should also be in the team if you can note that down. And then Ali and you will create the training courses, and Shahryar can be a part of it, can do the training courses. And then how many courses that becomes, like the editing software,
Mm-hmm.
Photoshop software, showing up on time course,
Mm.
and all that course which is needed. Then we will train 30 40 people for Dennis, and he can hire 1 to 5, how many he wants, out of this exercise. And so he can see that this is what he wants. And we will train enough so we can let go of the people who don't show up on time, and then we have other spare people who are willing to work. I think that's something which we can start off with immediately. We have all the components up and running for all this. So I will connect you to Shahrukh, but you
Like
can,
Shahrukh.
Dennis, you can put me as your point of contact on WhatsApp,
Okay.
and then I can organize all this myself because I want this to happen. It's been a year something, and I've been trying to get this off the ground. We have not been very successful at it.
Well, your timing's perfect on this. I'm excited. I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
So, do you think that if we did this as piecemeal versus hourly, that it could be more successful? For example, we know that repurposing content, like a client will submit a video, and we know that repurposing that one video might be worth $20, right? And if it takes someone 4 hours to do it, then their effective rate is $5 an hour. If they take 10 hours to do it, then their effective rate is $2 an hour. If they take 20 hours to do it, which it shouldn't take 20 hours, right? Then effectively it's $1 per hour. And I think that piecemeal creates more accountability because and when you pay someone hourly or salary, it gives them the incentive to take longer. So the longer they take, then the more effectively they're making, right? But when when you have people that are more junior and they're showing up is more difficult and they're used to being monitored in a factory type situation, they're more used to the idea of being paid the same salary every week, as opposed to every video you get done and it meets the QA standards, then it's $20. So in a week, you might make $1,500 or you might make $100, right? What do you think about the piecemeal model versus like hourly salary?
So you may want to give them a bonus. So you give them a salary plus bonus that if you don't meet the minimum, you get fired, and if you do meet the minimum, you get so much. And if you don't make mistake and it meets the QA standard, you hit a dollar extra per video or something like that, so that they don't just take a minimum, but they also take more than that. So that's something which you can do,
Okay.
but you have to play with it. It's just like getting into a new relationship. You have to play with it, take it slowly, don't go too fast, or you just spoil it.
Yeah.
It's a relationship because we all really start to work in a very different culture. You will start to work in a different culture, and everybody has their own culture. So it's the value system which have to align. I can tell you that people don't want to work in a Fiverr model. I made a copy of Fiverr 10 years ago
Mm-hmm.
because nobody knew what Fiverr was. So I started another version of Fiverr myself and set up billboards, marketed like hell, wasted maybe 100 grand on this, and nothing happened because people were not ready to take money for per task basis. They
Right.
were looking for jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Young kids are looking for job because they cannot get married if they don't have a job, and
Uh,
anybody who is getting a per piece charges is a contractor, and a lot of people don't want to give their girls to boys who don't have a job. They want a stable income. So there's a lot of psychology behind all this, and
mm,
social factors are playing bigger role than actually. As I was saying, it's more about the mindset than about the technical skills. These kids are very good at technicalities,
yeah.
but they're not good at soft skills. They're not good at
Yeah.
psychology. They don't understand the social norms. That's where the challenge comes. They just can't compute because nobody ever taught them these things.
Yeah. I agree. That makes sense. The idea of a base salary, that also means then that we have to have more accountability where maybe there's a manager. So
Yes.
there's no question that there's millions of people who are very quickly, we could get them to be technically competent, but the mindset piece and the management piece, we've been doing things with Basecamp, which is a project management tool. And there's many other tools that we can use to do project management. But I'm curious though, what do you think is the best way to have the system that measures the output and then the management layer on top? Because I like the idea. Let's say, for example, that repurposing a video, a basic video takes 4 hours. So in a standard workday of 8 hours, someone should be able to repurpose 2 videos, right? And that's worth $40, right? Because we know if we do time and motion and we run a bunch of people through it, we know on average it should take about 4 hours. Some people take, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 5 or 6 hours. And if they don't hit a certain threshold, right? If they only edit one video per day instead of two, or they don't do it at sufficient quality, then they don't meet the standard, they get fired. But then how do we enforce that? Can we build a manager layer where maybe there's a start of day and an end of day, like a shift, and then we evaluate? Maybe Shahrukh's able to, or a couple of the Shahrukhs are able to evaluate and say, okay, roll call at the end of the day, with the virtual workers, let's check in on each of the people and see how many videos did they edit, and then let's check the quality and see, does it make the quality? And then that is something that could scale, because then we could get other managers. Is that like what you're thinking, where there's a shift, or is it like a freelancer where they can work whenever they want, but then you have low control over output and communication?
So all my employees have to have shifts. They just don't know how to do as a freelancer. They just can't manage it. Initially, you have to put them in shifts. Whenever I have let them loose and be self-managed, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
I am also in the process of creating a project management tool so that we can actually manage them.
yeah,
We have created our own app recently, which even shows their location, their tasks. We're assigning them tasks and reminding them tasks on WhatsApp. Weird things. I mean, as I said, I've been trying to figure this out for 20 years or so. I just don't know how to do it yet. I'm
yeah,
still working on it. But per every 5 person, you will need a manager to manage them and get the work done out of them. the,
yeah,
the the thing is, we don't have enough managers in our country, so we have to train a lot of management. It's management is a soft skill, not a skill. It's a
yeah,
very it's a very hard learned skill. um so yeah, you have to have a management layer for every 5 people you hire. uh,
yeah,
Either it's done within, and we did put in the management layer for all our interns ourselves, so we were managing them for you, because without the management part you cannot get them to do anything. You have to call them and like scold them or remind them or do
yeah,
something with them. They don't want to show up.
yeah,
um, and it's a very, for me it's also a big challenge. But I think we can figure it out once we start doing something. There's always good people out there. There's always some Shahrukh always come in my life and helps me sort it out.
yeah.
So yeah, I think we can sort it out. We have
Good.
to start doing. Let's come up with the things you want somebody to get done,
Yeah,
and you have a requirement for 5 people, so we can train them. In order to train them, first we learn from you what exactly you want to do. I think I know what you want to do, but still there would be the amount of salt and pepper going into it is not right from my side, so you can fix the amount of salt and pepper in the whole thing. And
mhm,
then we go in and create the training courses. You watch the training courses, and then we put it out there.
yeah.
And I'll tell you a small little thing which I'm working on, or want, or is to scale this to 250 million people. Every course I'm building a documentary about the course.
Mm,
What does that mean? You don't have to do a course. You watch a documentary and you end up
mm,
learning
yeah,
about the skill. And this is my next step. I'm building a episode, a drama, a sitcom
yeah,
around the course. So you watch a sitcom and nobody wants to learn. Everybody wants to watch a sitcom. So you watch a sitcom and you end up learning the skill. So
yeah,
that's my play on learning, that I want to change the whole learning methodology by giving them Netflix episode. Go watch these 5 episodes and I'll hire you. And I mean, as simple as that.
yeah,
So that will change the whole learning thing,
yeah.
I hope, for everybody. So that's, documentaries are done. We have done 12 documentaries so far. We're spitting out almost a documentary a week. It's costing me a lot of money, but I'm burning all this so that I can learn how to get this problem actually solved, right? You have to scale fast. You can't, everybody has this problem of scaling fast enough. So I
Yeah.
think drama and sitcoms and documentaries are faster than online training courses, because that's so dry. Oh, you have to do this, you have
I
to go
agree.
there, so it's just a
Yeah,
little bit different.
yeah. Do you want to see an example of one of the little sitcoms that I filmed that we've
Sure,
created a few of, just to be able to see? Are you able to share your screen?
you are.
Can you
You
share?
are also. You can share the screen yourself. Click on share and just share the screen.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I will share. This is something that is not going to go live yet for a while. So this is the first time publicly we've shared this. So only a few people have seen this before. Okay, so check this out. I'll show you a couple things. You guys know Jake Paul? You heard of Jake Paul? Can you see this?
I can.
Okay, so I'm going to make this bigger. And we'll play just a couple of these scenes. So this is a choose your own adventure.
This is great. This is real great. I'm so excited. So basically, you guys as the audience are gonna have to choose between me, Dennis, and Armani on who has to drink the toilet water. So make your decision below.
So Rehan, who should we choose?
So make your decision below.
Dennis.
Me? Okay.
Pick Dennis. Me? Good job.
Oh my goodness! I thought for sure you'd pick Jake.
Now, so you have to drink the toilet water.
All right, here it is.
But guys, this is not only some form of entertainment where we're doing a challenge to drink toilet water, but you guys are now engaged as viewers. It's always good in intros of videos, in marketing, in business pitches to intrigue people right away, give people a reason to watch right away, because then more people are going to stay tuned and listen to whatever it is that you want to say.
That's right. So don't do this at home, even though this was my idea.
Drink toilet water. Oh,
Here we
gosh.
go. One shot. So,
Yeah.
there's no turds in here, so I think.
The glass is half full kind of guy, huh? Thank you guys for picking him. Seriously. How is that? Oh!
But the key is interactivity. Now think about how you might build interactivity into your videos and training. Think about it. What is the mission of Financial Freedom Movement?
I want to be able to inspire tens of thousands of kids to get active with their careers and their businesses and their entrepreneurship and their content and their personal branding, and give them a roadmap that I never had. And I made so many mistakes going through my career. I wish there was people or experts that I could just have watched and learned so much from to eliminate all the mistakes that I was going to make along the way. And I want to create a community, a network of people that are all striving towards the same goal, which is freedom and happiness. And that's a byproduct of being financially free. I want you guys to guess how much the average American makes in 1 year.
What do you think, Rehan? 30, 50, or 85?
30,000.
That is correct.
30,000. That is the correct answer according to the U.S. Census. Roughly around $31,000 a year, which is average to $15 an hour if you're working an 8-hour day. A lot of people are struggling and don't know necessarily how to succeed or how to make more money. Another question: how many people do you think in America are living paycheck to paycheck?
I would say 78%.
That is correct.
78%. That is correct. I remember growing up, my dad was actually living paycheck to paycheck, and it's not easy. It's very difficult. A lot of people struggle with this, and that's okay. If you're watching this right now and you want to get involved, you want to take your stuff to the next level, let's get honest about where you are at right now and how much money you are making so that we can amplify that and make you more money. When they built this house years ago, they put a secret
Can you
door.
pause it?
Yeah.
I think the video is fantastic. The voice is a little bit needs work on, but I think the quality of video is phenomenal.
Can I show you something else? Here, so
Sure.
let's do one. And this is kind of in line with your documentary. So I'll just create one here just so that you can see. So what's a question you might ask somebody, saying like, do you want to be a graphics designer, or do you want to do, build websites?
What is this? Like a graphic designing software or something?
No, we're just going to make an interactive video.
Okay.
So you go ahead and tell me. I'm just going to make one here just to show you. So what's the question we might ask?
How old is Dennis?
Okay. Hey, this is Dennis. How old do you think I am? Put the number below. So we made this. Hey, this is Dennis. How old do you think I am? So this is what it is. And then we're going to make it interactive. So I'll say hold. And then they're going to put it into a free text box. And then it's done.
Wow.
H. Okay. Or they could even come in and say, I don't know. Yeah. So there. So let's go ahead and say, so if they say, I don't know, then we'll say, you don't know? Well, I'm not a woman, so I'm not going to be offended. But you could ask my buddy Rehan in Pakistan, how old does he think I am? Because I think he and I are probably about the same age. You don't know? Well, so there. I'm not a woman, so I'm not. So I just made this one, and I'll say, this one's called don't know. And then we'll say, visit $100 intern, whatever it is. And we put a link or schedule a meeting or whatever it is, right? Or I'll say, actually tell me how old you are. And that'll turn into a video. Okay. So then this one, I called it don't know. And this one goes to don't know. And the age goes to, oh, they put in, okay, so I got to record the answer. Okay. Well, I'm 46. So compare that against your answer and tell me, were you close or not? I hope you enjoyed our little fun discussion. Now I'd like to ask you, would you like to learn how to make $1,000 a month joining our program with Rehan and all of our friends? Well, okay, so I'm 46. So there's compare answer. That. So then let's say, this is my answer.
I love it. Wow.
And, join our program. Okay. And then we put the link. So you tell me what the link is or whatever it might be, or promo code, whatever it is, right? So there it is. And let's finish. So now we're done. And let's say, here's the answer. It's 46. And then here comes the answer, 46. Let's see, 46. Okay. And then this goes to the end. Okay, cool. So we're done. So we'll preview it. Here goes. Hey, this is Dennis. How old do you think I am? Put the number below. So take a guess. Which one? Okay, put an age. So I think, 31, right? Well, I'm 46. So compare that against your answer and tell me, were you close or not? I hope you enjoyed our. Okay, so let's go back. Hey, this is Dennis. How old do you think I am? Put the number below. Close that one. But you see how this works, right? So let's try this again. Let's try the other option. Hey, this is Dennis. How old do you think I am? I don't know. Okay. You don't know? Well, I'm not a woman, so I'm not going to be offended. But you could ask my buddy Rehan in Pakistan, how old does he think I am? Because I think he and I are probably about the same age. So this is a video response. So I'll say, well, hopefully with a good camera, you can't tell how old I actually am, right? So now I've sent a response here. So now I collect the email address, right? And we're done. Well, I'm 46. So compare that against your answer and tell me, were you close? Okay, so you see what we did there?
This is so cool.
Easy. Yeah. And then we can see responses. We can do forms. We can do quizzes. We can do all of this.
This is a great way to teach or do anything, interaction.
So you saw like what I did with Jake Paul, right? You know Jake Paul?
Mm-mm.
He's a famous influencer. Any young adult's going to know he's the most famous influencer among young adults.
Right.
So you and I are too old. But I think the fun thing, like the documentary thing, is that like when we're with friends, we can record little segments and we can say, hey, we're in Lahore today. Would you like to go to this restaurant or that restaurant? Oh, come with me in the car. And then along the way, we're showing different things. So name a city in the world besides in Pakistan, because I've not been to Pakistan yet.
Tokyo.
Oh, they're not tagged properly. Okay, well, I have been to Tokyo.
Well, let's do Los Angeles, Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, okay. Okay, so there's all of these pictures and videos in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Now, the beauty is that like your documentary model, I like that because it's not just sitting in the classroom where it's just very, very boring and someone is just reading the PowerPoint to you, but they're having fun in Las Vegas, right? And we're teaching as we're walking, as we're doing things, and we'll say, hey, did you get the lesson? Hey, quiz for you. Hey, here's what we're doing, right? So I have a lot of these things. Look at these cool places in Las Vegas. We're
Your
hanging out.
are you sharing the screen?
Oh shoot, I'm not in the share. I need to go back to the share. And let me go. Here we go. Yeah. So here's Las Vegas, right? Here's all these cool things that we're doing in Las Vegas. And what's fun is that we can link together, Rihan, anything that we've ever made, any kind of training we've ever made, we can put together.
This is Google Photos, or what is this?
I'm using Google Photos, but it's just a raw inventory of what's on my phone. I also use Amazon Photos, right? And we can make it so interesting. Think about how many experts you and I have ever interviewed. It could be in a Zoom, or it could be driving, like when we were in San Francisco and we were driving in your car,
Right.
or here we're having a meal and we're talking about how to do something, right? These are all education.
I don't understand how you're using it. Can you kind of rephrase it? I didn't get it.
So I could say, just for fun, hey, my friends, would you like to visit me in, would you like to do our training together in Las Vegas or Los Angeles? Let me know what you prefer. Hey, my friends, would you like to visit me in, and then, the choices. And then I'll say, hey, welcome to Las Vegas. Now let's continue our discussion about repurposing content, or let's talk about Photoshop. Let's talk about, whatever it is. I can use anything, or I could even say, would you like to hear from my friend Jake Paul, right? So I add this one in. Would you like to hear Jake Paul? Who's the guy who I just showed you, the fighter guy, right? And then it goes to that scene. So I could link together any other video by merely asking people, hey, would you like to go here? Would you like to go there? Would you like to learn how to, do Photoshop, learn how to do Facebook ads, whatever you'd like to learn? I would love
picking up the video content within towards this platform.
Yeah. And there's a lot of tools to do that.
In order, is this your platform or is it somebody else, or?
Oh, it's a friend's platform. It's free right now. And I talked to the CEO and some of the other people, and they're willing to make it free for us for, as long as I guess we want to be able to do training. They believe in what we're doing. At some point, they're going to charge. They raised a lot of money they're an Israeli startup.
This is gorgeous. This is amazing. Really wonderful.
But do you see how easy it is? We can really make any kind of training and ask people, so where are you? Or, hey, I noticed that you didn't show up to work yesterday. Tell me what was wrong. I was sick. I didn't feel good. Oh, you didn't feel good. Well, you can see how you can make it interactive, right?
So in order to play this, they have to come to this platform, Slay, or otherwise, they can download the video or put it on YouTube, or?
We can put it on any website.
But how would you click on it?
It's just an embed code. Let's see, look. So when we make one of these.
I can't see the screen.
Oh, shoot. Let me go back to sharing the screen. Okay. Okay. It's just like any widget. So here, let's say, now let me go back here.
But it's not going to be uploaded as a video on YouTube. It's going to be on your website.
Yeah. So here, when we publish it, it's a widget to put onto the website. But you could drive straight to the link, or you could put it inside an email, of course, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then there's integration with all the email tools and this kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very straightforward. Yeah. I think it's really cool because then anyone let me see, how do I stop sharing? Anyone who wants to train or create a fun experience, we can encapsulate their knowledge and make it available for anyone else to be able to go through and make it interactive. We can build in quizzes, like you saw the quiz, right? Maybe you have 5 questions for the quiz, whatever it might be, just to make sure, they're paying attention.
Yeah, got it. It's really cool for learning. I think this is another vertical for training and really nice. I like it. Have you ever seen a tool? This is what I have been asking YouTube to do for a couple of years, which would take a video, say we did this conversation today, and that it will automatically generate transcription on YouTube and Facebook, but I want the transcription to be read in another language and then played in that language. So instead of watching this in English, I could watch it in Hindi or Urdu language, and the voice was it's just text to speech. All you do is pick up the
Yeah.
text and just use text to speech to play it. It's really easy to do. It's somebody just hasn't done it yet, as far as I know.
There's a way to do it, but you got to link together two other tools. You want to see how?
Sure.
Okay.
Share the screen.
Yeah, here we go. So we're using a couple tools that are somewhat expensive, but you know, we're in America, so we can play this. And the first one's called Descript. And what Descript does, it used to be a podcasting tool where it would take the audio from the podcast and you can edit the audio just like you edit a Word document or edit a Gmail. And then they started to allow us to pull in video, right? So we have all these different videos, and we have lots of these videos in here.
What's the website name? How do you spell it?
This is Descript, like description, but Descript. And you know, maybe here we have these videos in here, and I'll show you. And so what it does is it takes the video and it transcribes it. Which there's a lot of tools that do that. You can do it with Frame integrated with Otter.ai and whatnot. But here, I'll just show you, you know, one of these videos. Let's see. This one, right? Oh no, that one's not loading properly. Let's see. So here's one, right? So here's some audio. It's from a video. I can hit play.
People even tell us they can think more clearly after they work with us. Do you know how some people look way younger than they really are? Or some people who look way older than they actually are?
Okay, so you see how this works? So I can come in here and I can start editing this, and it'll edit the audio file as well.
What?
Just like a video. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
In fact, I could take this, I could change it, and I could change the words. So instead of saying live life with less aches and pains, I could say no more headaches, right? And I come here and I do this. Oh, shoot, I didn't add this guy as a speaker. So for this person here, we have to have him speak anywhere from 5 minutes to 90 minutes. So the AI learns his voice, and then I hit this, and then I can turn it into his voice. So it sounds so good. You can't, unless you're really listening, you can't tell that he did. I can make him say whatever words I want. So I can edit his voice like a Word document. Now, the other thing is that I can take this whole thing and I might want to do it in Urdu or Italian or whatnot, right? Or other languages, like you said. So then I'm going to move to another tool to do this. And that's called Jarvis.ai. So watch this. This is really mind-blowing Black Mirror kind of magic, you know, like almost like evil, bad movie villain kind of stuff. Watch what happens here. So I'm going to take some of this text. Okay, so you can see these words. Now, I don't speak Urdu, so I'm just going to take this, okay? And I'm going to come in here and choose Content Improver. And I'm going to take this and I'm put it in the tone of Rihan. I didn't spell that correctly. And then I want to, let's see, where do I change the language? There's somewhere here I change the language. Why can't I do this? I think they moved it. Somewhere here. Where is this? Oops. Re-sign into this. But I can, shoot, I was just in here. I messed this up. Anyway, the point is it translates. I can create content in any other language.
In my voice.
In your voice. Yeah. It is absolutely scary. So here, like look at the content this thing can write. It can write, you want to write like a funny story maybe or a headline. Name any kind of content that you want to write.
A joke.
A joke. Okay, so let's say funny. There's like a wild marketing idea. Quora Answers, this is pretty good. Oh, you know what? There's a story. There's a, where is it? Story. Testimonial photo captions. This is, I've shown this to just here, creative story. Okay, so give me the plot, you know, the first line of a story, you know?
Dennis
Rihan,
and Leon are hanging out and having a party.
give me a little bit more detail, some specifics.
Leon showed up on the Las Vegas airport, and he fall down on his suitcase, and it was pretty funny.
Rihan showed up at the Las Vegas airport and fell down. It's funny. Okay, and then name the tone of somebody. It could be a famous actor or a politician or even just like
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Okay, so it'll be said in the tone of Bill Gates. So the AI has gone through trillions of things in the internet to understand how Bill Gates. You can even put my name. There's enough information for it to learn how I talk. So it's going to start telling a story. Okay, and then we can have it tell it in another language. But I forgot where the setting is to change the language. So now the AI is generating completely new content. Dennis has been living in Las Vegas the last few years. Can you read this?
No, it's not. Can you do a text to speech on it?
I can put it. I can take this. I can copy it over into Descript, and it'll do the voice off of it.
But how would it do a Bill Gates style?
It's done in his tone of voice, the kind of words and phrasings that he'd use. So I could say, who's the black guy who always curses? Samuel L. Jackson, right?
Right.
You know who that is? Samuel L. Jackson, right?
Yeah. So the content will change accordingly.
Yeah.
So what about the text to speech part? And we have to go back to.
Then we have to come over to this tool, and then this tool has to learn your voice. So you and I have to come here and record our voices to add a new voice here.
This is Descript?
Yeah. So we have to cobble together a few different tools to make it work.
This is the problem in talking to smart people. You get a lot of homework to do, learn new things.
So let me worry about the integration. And here's the other thing. So we can upload your face, right?
What's this website?
Now this website's called synthesia.io. So now we can record these other things saying, hey, this is Rihan here, and this is course number 125, and we're going to teach you how to do whatever it is. It's going to be your face. It's going to sound just like you, right? Now they have these different actors, but look at the examples of these actors. This is called
Welcome to Acme.
This is called synthetic video because it's not a human. This is computer-generated video, yeah?
Right.
And computer-generated voice. So look at this. Tell me, is it obvious that this is a robot?
We look forward to meeting you next week. I'm Anna, and in this video, I will take you through your first day at Acme. When you arrive, go straight to the campus building as indicated on the picture to my left. You will receive your laptop and key card and meet your team leader.
Now imagine we put your voice, all of this.
Insane.
Yeah. So this is where we are. This is not some in the future, kind of movie thing. This is today. This is the current state of the art now. We can do this now. I'm showing the software to do it now. We can roll out hundreds of courses like this. And it's not even to trick people. We can say, hey, Shahrukh, I'm so glad that we are spending some time together. I saw that you just got a 90% on the quiz. Congratulations, Shahrukh, right? Good job. And I see today is Saturday, September 4th, and I can't wait to see what your goal might be in a month from now, maybe by October 4th. Let's see how far you can go. Maybe you can make your first $1,000. But anyway, Rihan here, I just wanted to congratulate you. But then Rihan never said it. And then we have thousands of auto Rihans giving congratulations and encouragement and saying, hey, you only worked 4 hours yesterday. I wanted to ask you, what's going on? Then they feel like they got a personal message from Rihan,
Wow.
Is it scary? Do you think is it unethical?
Here's another one for you. So have you seen this movie, AI movie? Let me come up with. So this is an AI I've been wanting to. So middle management is one of the most challenging jobs I have ever had to have. Yeah. And I have been wanting to have an AI to take care of my middle management. Just like you're saying, hey, Dennis, you didn't show up at YM9. Is everything okay? Is your mom okay? Is your dad okay? Is your uncle okay? Everything's okay? So everything okay. So I hope you show up tomorrow. So and tomorrow he gets a little bit, harder on the guy. And day after he gets a little bit harder on the guy. And he just gets reminding. And when I assign a task, I don't have to keep track on them. The AI keeps a track on them. Have you seen something like this yet?
You could, I haven't seen any software designed just for this, but we certainly could write the rules to do that. It wouldn't be very hard.
That would change the planet forever. I have been wanting to get this done for a couple of years now, and every time I see a new product come out, like Siri come out, or Google Assistant come out, or Alexa come out, I feel like so happier that, oh, it's closer, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Because then I can just say, Alexa, can you get Sharik to get this done? Thank you. And I don't ever have to ask it ever again. And it gets done. It's like so
Yeah.
hard to just get it done, because
Yeah.
I could run a million projects if I just had this follow-up feature on there. And I don't know, do you have someone who can write it down for us? I mean,
Yeah, so the state of the art right now with AI is in calendar and scheduling assistance, where you just make up a name, Samantha, right? Whatever it is, and that's not a real person. And Samantha is the AI. This is the current state of the art. So Samantha currently can interpret and manage your calendar and reply to the point where people don't even realize it's not a real person. But the assigning of the tasks and managing and all that, I have not seen that. But given where AI is going, I would think it's 2 or 3 years away.
still 2-3 years, my God. You see all of this hair gone? It's because of micromanagement. it's because of management of people.
Yeah,
Ah,
I'm with you.
if only- if
The issue is
only.
management. There's lots of people, but there's only so many people like you, me, and Sharuk to go around. We need to have more managers, and you could do some of it with software, but I think there's something about training up people, real people, so that someone who's in trouble, they know they can go to the manager and talk to a real human.
Here's I don't know how tired you are, but you just got me all excited and everything. It's like I just had like 4 Red Bulls.
Yeah.
So here's a challenge for you. I want to obsolete that anybody from Pakistan, Philippines, wherever, come to Dubai and do a $500 job in Dubai.
Mhm.
If somebody comes from the United States and they apply for a job in Dubai, they start from $3,000. If
Mhm.
somebody comes from Philippines, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, they start at $500. I want to make that obsolete, that nobody who comes to Dubai, he's leaving his family, everything behind and coming for a job. It should be minimum of $1,500. The training which goes into their head is basically soft skill management, which is lacking. It's not the skill, it's the soft skill. It's just the ability to communicate. I mean, I think you understand me pretty much when I'm speaking to you, and you understand that I have traveled in the United States enough to get your jokes and get your language. Um, but majority, when you talk to them, you can tell that they haven't traveled enough or watched enough of Star Trek or watched enough of Friends or Seinfeld to actually
Right.
understand the comedy or the linguistics of a country.
Yeah.
How would you fix it if you were given this task, that no more job for, I mean, I have started a political party last year,
Mhm.
and the goal of the political party, number one, the one line manifesto is everybody's going to get at least $500 a month in income, not salary, in income, if you allow us to empower you guys, not necessarily through just politics, but we're redesigning the politics. What we're doing is we are putting a shadow mayor in every town in the country. We're putting up a minister of everything out there, and we are making them into celebrities, online celebrities, and then they're interviewing people, they're talking to people on the subject without ever being the minister, without ever being elected.
Yeah.
So we're giving them caps like a Rotary would, and we're asking them, hey, Dennis, you are the AI minister of Pakistan now. Your job is to do 5 podcasts a week and do a conference on AI every 3 months and invite your friends all over the world and within Pakistan and just talk about it. And everything is online, everything is on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. So everybody's co-learning.
Mhm.
And similarly, we have water issues. Okay, you are the minister. Shahrukh is the minister of water, and he's going to discuss water every single day for half an hour online with everybody and do 4 conferences a year, so that all the networking is happening and problems are coming in front. And all that. And same thing on a city level and a town level. We're putting up shadow mayors. And without ever being elected, you actually can solve problems just by
Yeah.
networking properly.
Yeah.
This was never possible before. Now it is possible. So we started this new platform called the Human Party, and we're trying to do all this. But how would you do it, if any different, to minimum the income of people? Because the reason they're poor is the mindset, nothing else. They have all the tools in their phones. You just showed me two phenomenal tools. If I knew them, my productivity could have been higher even now. But just did
Yeah.
not. I wasn't just aware. I wasn't even looking. I was so busy firefighting that I didn't even have time to go look at how Jarvis works. I've been using repurpose instead of descript for
Right.
whatever.
Right.
So I didn't even add it on my radar to do that. And the same thing is happening in all levels. People on all levels are not unlearning and relearning. They're just doing what they know and trying to become more efficient at it,
Yeah.
not using the better tools. So
Yeah.
what would because I have met a lot of people, Dennis, and you always give a very outside the box perspective. So I'm very appreciative to you for that.
I think so I approach it from an engineer standpoint. So, I'm a search engine engineer. I think that for the people who have knowledge, we need to make it easy for them to be able to educate and train and distribute their content. So it could be these other tools, or it could, different ways where it's easy. So all they have to do is produce the content. And then we have a team of people that edit and repurpose, like Shahrukh, that they're able to turn it into content that other people can digest in a fun format. Then the other side are the workers. And I think that this is the bigger challenge, where we need, half of it's mindset, like you talked about, and half of it could be the skills on how to do a particular kind of, and the more skills you learn, the more things you unlock, gamifying, that kind of thing. But I think that the part for the workers is the communication. And even though you've traveled the United States, you've been all around, you understand the idioms and the slang and just how it's different, American culture, right? I think that we can approximate that 80-20. So we're not going to have our friends in Pakistan watch every episode of The Simpsons or whatever. That's just too much. But from a working standpoint, so that they can make at least $500 a month, if we can teach them how to communicate in a meeting in a very, very basic sort of way, how do you show up? How do you introduce yourself? How do you talk about your status? How do you do polite conversation? How was your weekend? How is your kids? How are you doing? How to read signals, such as when the client is unhappy, but they're going to tell it to you in a way that a lot of people, unless you're an American, you're probably not going to realize. You might think, oh, the client said everything's great, but they said, no, actually, they're trying to tell you everything's very, very bad, right? I think the communication skills is going to be the biggest one. Partly organization, but I think mainly teaching communication skills. And I know a lot of people who are very good at this. Like my friend Alex Berman's in India right now. He flew from here in the United States to India maybe a week and a half ago to teach a course to teach offshore people how to speak American English and how to make, in India, and how to make, instead of $1 an hour, make $50 an hour or whatever it might be. So Alex and I have the same, and there's a lot of other people that are like Alex and me, that they just don't know the Rehans of the world. We just need, just like you don't know a Descript or these other tools, we don't know the people in Pakistan to make this happen. So we just need to connect. We need people like you, like a Rosetta Stone, to connect everybody.
All right. I'm glad this happened. Thank you for the 5 doses of bullshit. What's that? Red Bulls. This is Ali. He is running. He has multiple caps. He is head of Rehan Help Center, which is a one-on-one help center for people to show up and ask for any kind of help. And then we redirect them to different places. He also worked with us for 6 months on Rehan training. He was popping out 4 courses a day. We have created a whole team which can record, process, make a book out of every course, and 4 courses a day. So he was heading that, and now he's heading the help center part. So he's also creating courses. He has, I don't know, 50 courses or so on Rehan training himself, on all kinds of things. So he's a learning machine. He learns and then he pops out a course. of that. So he will be sitting in when you're training your our team to create your content, so he can learn and then he can pop out a course
Yeah.
and then he can fine tune it. He's a brilliant guy. He's worked with a lot of marketing companies in Pakistan. He's such a sweetheart. I'm so
Yeah.
happy and honored that he was working with us. So I think you will have fun working with us. I hope you had a few shots of Red Bull with us today, because I'm excited on the possibilities, Dennis, which you bring to us on the table, and with the heart. And money always comes. I never has ever bothered for money, but I think money always shows up, and that's not very important at the moment to me, but it is to a lot of other people.
Yeah.
So let's get it rolling. I would let you go to sleep. It's almost 1 a.m. for you.
2 a.m.
Uh, 2 a.m. Yeah. Okay, so enjoy it, and I really think I should come back, hang out with you for a couple of weeks in Vegas,
Come out.
and learn a lot of things from you. Dude, you're brilliant, and you're more than welcome to come and stay with us at my house. You will really have a ball. We have multiple studios. Last before COVID hit, I was building a 1 acre film city because I understood that the YouTubes and Netflix are the future. So I wanted to create a film school, a studio, and everything around that, like an all ecosystem, like for the film and short films and movies and dramas. It's sitting on hold. The place is there. We own it. We used to have a factory there. It's brilliant, but we just didn't get it going. I need some good connections in Vegas, not in Vegas, in Los Angeles for that. So we could have right partners to get it rolling because uh, a lot of things. And then if you come, I think you will have a
I,
ball.
I'm coming. You visited me in San Francisco. Now I'm going to come visit you. Let's
Sure, but
plan.
that was a short visit. You should come for like a longer visit, and you it's all my I had my friend who's exited in Vegas from a telecom company. He said he came a few years ago and he said, Rihan, your country is like apples getting almost red and you're about to break them. There's so much happening. It's right on the pinnacle of change and phenomenal things are about to happen.
Yeah.
And I just wish I was younger and I could do all this plowing and stuff to actually make it happen. But with the connections which I have and with the reputation I have of connections, they trust me for because I've been doing this forever. Almost everybody listens at least, right? That's the hard part. They don't even listen most of the time.
Mm.
So they listen and they try to execute it, and phenomenal things can really happen. So I hope you come. I will also come and hang out. Ali, I think, was watching the conversation live. He will watch the replay, and we will wait for your staff, which you need. I think I can get the team together to help you get to the million people goal, and train the guys, train because we all need to retrain ourselves. So thank you for retraining us today with Jarvis and the descripting tool. Oh, I have to really learn all this now. But yeah, it was fun. Thank you
We'll give
so
you
much.
access to ours too, and we'll build a whole
Mhm.
system with Ali and Shahrukh. We'll build a whole system to be able to process content, and then all of our people can use these tools together, just like Tolstoy for the interactive video and other. We have all these different tools, and I want to teach how we use them to be able to produce content at scale. The more content we produce, the more we can employ people.
I agree. That was the whole idea of the training part. So the goal, the mission statement for Freehand training is to get anyone who has never been to school to $500 a month level by teaching them in ways which are very different than normal ways, right? We don't want to send them to school, college, or university. We want them to watch dramas or sitcoms and they just
Mhm.
learn how important is it to show up? How
Yeah.
important is it to not lie? How important is it to have this basic conversation using a drama? Okay, so somebody was saying I want you to mention all the tools. So I will just share the links on the description. And Dennis, if you haven't used StreamYard, then this is a really, really good tool to actually know. So this is Go Tolstoy, and this is where you make interactive videos. Then Dennis told us about, and these are really good videos. Anybody and everybody who is into teaching anything or selling anything should definitely learn Go Tools Stoy. I think I will request Ali to make a course on basics of Goldstoy in Urdu language, and we can hire instantly a person as a VA who can do Goldstoy courses for us.
Yeah.
That's first job. And then second one, he told us about Descript, which is a repurposing tool. Tell us more a little bit on this. What else can this do?
Descript allows us to edit audio and video just like we edit words in an email or in a Word document.
And it's unbelievable. And then he told us about Jarvis. Jarvis came out from the movie Iron Man first, and then it is the AI which Mark Zuckerberg wrote for his house, and now this is some other guy who has created Jarvis.ai, which does all kinds of wonderful script writing. So if you're writing a movie, you can just go in and actually create a movie or a drama like in 10 minutes or like a minute, basically by giving in the script. It's very well described in a YouTube documentary on AI by YouTube on how it works. And you can write movies, dramas, scripts, copy, all kinds of beautiful stuff using this AI. And these are the three super tools which Dennis told us about. And I'm very happy that we connected today, Dennis. We should do this more often, I think. And I think we will. I think that would be my earning to gain your friendship and wisdom this way of working together.
Whatever I can do for you, Rihan. And then it's perfect timing for me because I get my best thinking and whatnot around midnight Pacific time, which I think is around noon your time. So anytime you guys want to meet, I don't have meetings at midnight here, right? So it's very good for me. I can make time. I'd love to see you guys. Yeah. Yeah. Shah Rukh and Ali, I'd love to hear from you guys maybe briefly. I haven't heard you speak yet.
Yeah, go ahead, Ali. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Ali. I'm from Karachi. I have done Master of International Relations, and I have done certification in digital marketing. And currently working with Rehan as the CEO of Rehan Health Center, and looking forward to a digitalized world and helping people every day. And my aim to connecting and make sure that their words and their content has connecting to the world. So this is a gateway to opportunity to creating contents and creating expressions. So many of the people are coming through our many videos, things, our live sessions, things. They ask for a number of demanding skills for that. So I need to more understand the people and regard what they need to learn or what they need to excel their life. Yeah.
Hi, Shahrukh.
Hi Dennis, uh, I'm Shahrukh Karubarwala. I am personal assistant to Rehan Alawala. I look after the Rehan Foundation and different matters in the Rehan Foundation and the parts of business for Rehan Alawala. Solve his day-to-day issues and all. I must tell you, I love the video you showed on this. It's totally grabbing the audience, the response time, either do this side or doing this side. I love the idea. Totally, I love the idea. We can do documentaries on different cities. Like we adopted a city in Jiangxi in Sindh. We can do a documentary. I had got an idea after seeing this video that how to enter in Jiangxi, what place do you want to visit, and we have a lot of option there. And just click on it, and another video just open, and perfect. Heads off to you. Thank you.
Dennis, ask them questions if you want. They're wide awake.
What has inspired you most from our conversation? Like what struck you? I always want to hear feedback because we're covering lots of different things and you guys cover different angles.
it was totally a new experience for me. I have never been to this AI world, and today what I saw is just like uh, sir said that it gave me a 5 cans of Red Bull, like boost my energy is to multiplier effect. It was marvelous what you shows us today. I have never seen this before, and working with you is would be a great time, I must say. Uh, to work with you and to learn something from you will be a great opportunity, I must say.
Ali, do you want to give some feedback?
To me, content you have created and something your experience is very demanding as with working with AI and things that is something beyond the expectation that I love to use with working at digital marketing and things to connect with the world. So it's easy to better making multiply of this effect of our communication and things. It's make better easier by automation and things. That is wonderful, and you are accessing something connect our world. That is something amazed that you appreciate our work and we can collaborate something and better way to reach out the local people and regional levels for that. So the more we learn from each other, that is something innovate new ideas to expect at the new level of ais also where with local languages and also to the levels of things. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ali. That means a lot to me. I think there's so much we can do with teaching Pakistanis AI and these different tools, and it'd be funny because people then say, instead of they'll think, because the reputation in Pakistan in digital marketing is more the low end work like transcription and the simple things. But if they see that we're doing cutting edge, they're going to think, wow, I've not even seen this in the States, and now it's coming out of Pakistan, and all the best trained people using AI tools and copywriting and whatnot are coming out of Pakistan. How is this possible? This is incredible.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for them?
I think as we go, it'll be good, and I'll have questions. But right now, I just want to make sure we're able to coordinate. I'd like to use Basecamp for project tracking. So if you guys are cool with that, send me an email and I'll add you. We have our equivalent of Shahrukh and Ali. So we have Sean and we have Juan. And Sean is our director of operations, and he manages, you can think of him maybe closer to a Shahrukh. And then we have Juan, who's managing processes and training and the execution, maybe closer to Ali. So I'd like to get you guys introduced, and that way we have different people working together at the right levels. So mainly I just want to coordinate, and if you guys use WhatsApp, that's good too, but we like to use Basecamp and email for a lot of the structured content. And then we can get together if it's good with you, like on Zoom maybe, or Skype. So I'd love to start coordinating that.
Sure. I will introduce them on Facebook to you. You can introduce them on Facebook and also Basecamp. Ali and Shahrukh will send you their emails. I will send you my email. You can add us to the Basecamp. I would love to explore it. I'm trying to get somebody to get me on a project management software because I have so much going on. I don't
Okay.
use any project management software, which is miserable.
Right.
And so I want to get up and running and put a full-time guy just on the um, project management. My philosophy is that I have had difficulty in working with uh, professionals or very well trained people, unfortunately, because the way I was trained, whenever it comes to a person who is very strong in personality, it's very challenging to get them to work with my existing team. So my strategy has been to hire low end people and train them and make their way up. It has paid well because it doesn't give me mental stress as much as having a expensive person working for you and telling you what to do, and the team doesn't want to work with them and you don't want to work with them, and it becomes a fussy. So my productivity level of my guys initially is very low, but what I do is I give them a lot of work which trains them, and I'm not expecting a high productivity from them, but I'm expecting more of the work ethics, showing up on time, finishing the task on time, and redoing the task multiple times, so that I can trust them, their ability, not their, because anybody can learn anything as long as they're committed to you and to your work. I don't care if they're not smart. What I care is they're trustable. Do say what they do, and they show up and actually do the stuff which they're saying. So I hire a lot of people, and I don't pay a lot of money initially, but I can judge them based on their productivity, based on their learning skills. And if they're good learners, I can create them into anything. So I expect them, sometimes I hire them for 10 hours a day, but I expect them to work for 1 hour a day. I don't care. Even if they work for 1 hour a day, even if they work for half an hour, if they just show up, that's good enough, because that's a scarcity which we have in our culture, that people don't show up on even on time. And that's a very challenging problem. The people who are so I have a company which makes money. So they are totally independent. I don't interfere with their job and work. They are run more professionally. But in my work, when I'm creating something new, I need people who can dance with me, who can really understand what's happening, and just don't worry about too much and just dance the way up, because you don't. I don't even know what I'm creating. It's just a new pie which I'm just co-creating with a lot of other people. So that's my work style. I have tried to be fast in the past. It always fails for me. So I try to be very slow, very unorganized, and let things just happen on their own pace. And that keeps me calm and happier, uh, relatively, than the other, New York style of growing and professional stuff and doing that. So I just hire people for no reasons and just put them on one task, and because they're not very expensive and that doesn't bother me too much. But if they're learning, I can see that in 3 months' time they would become a very good asset for me. So right now I have been hiring like crazy, and it's been creating a lot of stress, because whenever you get a new member in the team, they have to adjust, and the whole team is organic. So they're just kind of, there's no structure. There's so much unorganized structure that they're just having a hard time in adjusting into that. But it's kind of what I'm doing right now. Um, and I feel it growing. It's, instead of being very organized, I'm very unorganized, but it still works for me somehow. So just to kind of let you know on my way of growing things.
I'm very excited to be a part of it. I'm so glad that we connected today. And what was it that caused you to post that picture of us in San Francisco from a few years ago? Was there something that sparked your thought, maybe?
So some guy, I was happy to see that some guy has taken your courses, and I was finding my our photo so I can post it to him, but then I couldn't find his post. So I just posted it on the wall, because as I was explaining, my job mainly is like a systems entrepreneur. My job, I created the following, which I created over the years, and now I look for the right people to send the following to. So if somebody wants to start a kebab shop, I have that kind of audience, and if somebody wants to do digital marketing, I have that kind of audience. I have all kinds of audience in my network, and it's a very mixed audience. You have billionaires, do you have miserably poor people in my network? So I throw followers to people, and then they comment, and then you have interesting accidents happen on your social network, which allows you to see things in a different way. And I don't know if you have ever read Tao Te Ching, or if you follow it. I follow it, and it's all about keep chopping wood and carry water and do your thing and don't plan too much and do all this. Be in the flow. And I feel that I'm more comfortable in that way. I think everything is happening for a reason. I didn't just added you on Facebook for without a reason. I have no clue why I added you. I have no clue why we met after Burning Man. I have no clue why we had, why today is why we connected instead of a year ago when you were asking me to connect for the interns. It's just, I let things just happen rather than forcing them to happen. It's not the best way for other people to be around me. It's very challenging for them because they have no clue what's happening in my life, but neither do I. So when people ask me for appointments and stuff, I tell them I don't give appointments anymore. You can ask me the same day if I'm available. I'll do. Otherwise, I just don't. If it gives me stress to just want to be organized. So it's not the most healthiest way for other people, but it works for me.
I love it. I believe everything happens at the right time, even if we don't understand it at that
I
time.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So today was fantastic, and I'm very happy. Like for example, Ali showed up in my network a few years ago, and I've been wanting to meet him forever. I couldn't meet him for 2 years. He lives in the same city. And then I hired another guy who just hired Ali without letting me know. And he said, "Well, can I hire this guy?" I said, "Sure." And then he wanted to let him go. He was like, "I can't manage this guy." I said, "Well, never mind. Just let him be. Let him be." Ali is like a teddy bear. He's a love bunny, and he's just love with everyone. So I said, "No, let him be." And just every time he amazes me when I hear him, uh, but he's like totally different, out of the box person in our city. And I love hanging out with people who are totally out of the box. अली का भी इंटरनेट हैंग हो गया शायद. Dennis, are you there? Shahrukh, your headphone is fantastic. Can you get the same for everybody else? I don't know which one it is, but the voice is really brilliant. And maybe Ali and others and Asma and all can get similar headphones.
Sure.
The voice is really crisp on this one.
It's a local one.
Yeah, it works well. Here's Dennis. No.
Hey, I'm
Hey.
back. My
Right.
laptop died, so I switched to my phone.
Yeah. All right. Where was I? Yeah. So yeah, I like to hang around, keep people who are very different around me, and that helps me become more different than normal. So I don't like normal somehow.
That's good. We got to do things differently.
All right, Dennis, thank you so much. I will hook you up with these guys. All you do is you say, "Hey, Rihan asked me to interview you. This is my small little bio, and I want to create 1 million jobs in Pakistan in digital marketing. I have clients all over, and I want to see if we can do something together on that." That's it. That's like a three-liner that would get their interest. I will send them a note that you can share our photo. I will share that, and then they will build trust, and they will give you half an hour or an hour to talk. And I'm sure having a conversation with you will give them a Red Bull effect, and then that they will start having, and they will start flying.
Amazing. I'm
Yeah,
excited. Thank
so
you so
go
much,
shout
Rihan.
out to your studio. It's really pretty.
We'll get it working properly next time, and I'll show you how everything works.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dennis. Get on
Thank you, guys.
StreamYard. You need to interview me also so that we can
Okay.
get more of your guys over. Thank you.
All right.
Take
I'll
care.
get that now. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Good to see
Thank
you
you,
all.
Dennis. Take care, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching, and peace.
That has been going.